Hello everyone and welcome back to Ways to Learn English. I'm Alex. If this is your first time here, this is a space where you can relax, breathe, and improve your English naturally through real conversations.
Hi everyone, I'm Lena, and today's topic feels very personal because it affects almost everyone who is learning something new, especially a language.
Yes, today we're talking about something that sounds intelligent but often makes our lives harder. We're talking about overthinking.
I feel like overthinking is something I do every day, but sometimes I don't even notice it.
That's the thing about overthinking. It feels productive, it feels responsible, it feels like you're preparing, but many times you're just replaying the same thought again and again.
Like when you send a message and then read it again and again and again.
Exactly. Or when you finish a conversation and think, why did I say that? Why didn't I say something smarter? Did I sound strange?
That happens to me in English all the time. After speaking, I replay the conversation in my head. Last week I was talking to someone in English. The conversation was fine, but later I remembered a better word I could have used. And I thought, why didn't I say that? I felt annoyed at myself.
That's a perfect example of overthinking. You're not improving. You're criticizing yourself. There's a difference.
So, how do we know when reflection becomes overthinking?
Reflection is helpful. Reflection sounds like this. Next time, I'll try using that word. Overthinking sounds like this. I always mess up. I'm not good at this. Everyone probably noticed. Reflection is forward-looking. Overthinking is backward stuck.
Backward stuck. That's a powerful expression.
Let's explain that naturally. If you are stuck, it means you cannot move. For example, I'm stuck in traffic. But mentally, being stuck means your thoughts are not moving forward. You are replaying the past.
So, overthinking is mental traffic. I think overthinking often comes from fear. Fear of looking foolish, fear of making mistakes, fear of being judged.
Yes. And here's something important. Most people are not thinking about you as much as you think they are. They are thinking about themselves.
That's strangely comforting.
Let me tell you something. Years ago, I gave a presentation in English. I forgot a sentence. There was silence. Maybe 3 seconds. But in my mind, it felt like 30 seconds. Afterward, I thought about it for hours. I felt embarrassed. The next day, someone said, "That was clear and helpful." They didn't even notice the silence, but I replayed it for hours.
We are often harder on ourselves than anyone else.
Here's today's special section. Common mistake. Many English learners believe fluency means speaking without pauses. But pauses are natural. Native speakers pause all the time. Overthinking begins when you believe pauses are failure. They are not. They are processing.
Is overthinking connected to perfectionism?
Very much. Perfectionism says, if it's not perfect, it's wrong. But language is not mathematics, it's communication. If the message is understood, it works.
So perfection is not required for communication. Clarity is.
Let's try something simple. Think of a recent conversation in English. Now, instead of focusing on what you said wrong, focus on what went right. Did the person understand you? Did the conversation continue? Did you express your idea? That's success.
Why does the brain replay conversations?
Because the brain wants safety. It wants to avoid future embarrassment. So it analyzes past experiences. The problem is when analysis becomes repetition without learning. If you learn one lesson and move on, healthy. If you repeat the same criticism 10 times, overthinking.
What does overthinking cost us?
Energy, confidence, spontaneity, joy. When you overthink, you hesitate more next time. And hesitation slows fluency. Repeat after me. Take your time. Speak gently. It's okay to pause.
It's okay to pause.
It's okay to make mistakes.
It's okay to make mistakes.
I learn by speaking.
I learn by speaking.
In part 2, we'll explore something deeper. What happens when overthinking affects relationships? When you replay arguments, or imagine conversations that never happened?
And we'll also talk about how to stop overthinking at night. Because that's when it becomes loudest. Take a slow breath. You don't need to solve every thought tonight. Sometimes growth begins when you decide to stop replaying and start living. Alex, can we talk about nighttime overthinking? Because for me, that's when everything becomes louder.
Yes. During the day, you're distracted. At night, it's quiet. And in silence, your thoughts have more space.
Sometimes I go to bed tired, but my brain suddenly decides it's time to analyze my entire life.
Yes. Your brain says, let's review every mistake since 2014. At night, your brain shifts into reflection mode. There are fewer external stimuli, no notifications, no conversations. So the mind turns inward. The problem is not reflection. The problem is unstructured reflection.
Unstructured reflection. That sounds dangerous.
It can be, because without direction, your thoughts drift toward fear.
I think overthinking becomes even stronger in relationships. For example, if someone replies late to a message, you start creating stories.
Exactly. They're upset with me. I said something wrong. They don't care. But most of the time, they're just busy.
So, overthinking fills in missing information with negative assumptions.
Yes. It prefers dramatic explanations.
Do you ever imagine conversations that never happened, like arguments in your head?
Of course, you rehearse what you would say. You win the argument perfectly. And then, the conversation never happens.
So, you spend emotional energy on something imaginary.
Exactly. And emotional energy is limited. Let's pause. Think of one thing you've been overthinking recently. Now ask yourself, is this problem happening right now? Or is it happening in my imagination? That question alone can reduce anxiety.
What's the difference between preparing for something and overthinking it?
Good question. Preparation leads to action. Rumination leads to paralysis. If you think about a presentation and then practice, that's preparation. If you think about it repeatedly, but never practice, that's rumination.
So, action is the dividing line. I sometimes overthink social situations. After meeting new people, I analyze every sentence.
That's very common, especially in a second language. But here's something important. People remember how you made them feel, not every word you used. If the interaction felt warm, your grammar mistakes disappear in memory. Let's share something practical. When you notice overthinking starting, use this method. Name 5 things you see. Name 4 things you hear. Name 3 things you feel physically. This brings your brain back to the present. Overthinking lives in the past or future. Calm lives in the present.
I think many English learners fear being judged. That fear creates overthinking.
Yes, but here's the truth. Every fluent speaker was once a beginner. Every confident person was once awkward. Growth always includes uncomfortable phases.
Sometimes I replay conversations for so long that I can't sleep.
Then it becomes a cycle. You're tired the next day. You feel less confident. You overthink more.
How do we break that cycle?
Write it down. If a thought repeats, write it. Your brain relaxes when it knows the thought is stored somewhere.
What if I said something embarrassing?
Then you lived. Embarrassment is evidence of participation. Silence avoids embarrassment, but it also avoids growth. Repeat after me. Take your time. Speak gently. Not every thought deserves attention.
Not every thought deserves attention.
I can let thoughts pass.
I can let thoughts pass.
I don't have to solve everything tonight.
I don't have to solve everything tonight. I think overthinking is sometimes connected to control. We replay events because we want control over them.
Yes. But the past cannot be controlled. Only the next decision can. Trusting yourself means accepting that imperfect moments are part of the journey. In part 3, we'll talk about something powerful. How to train your mind to think differently. Not by fighting thoughts, but by redirecting them.
And we'll close with something practical you can use tonight. Take a breath. You are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. And that awareness is the beginning of freedom.
Welcome back. In part 1, we explored what overthinking is. In part 2, we talked about how it grows louder at night and how it affects relationships. Now we're going somewhere deeper. We're going to talk about how to retrain your mind, not by fighting your thoughts, but by changing your relationship with them.
I like that, because fighting thoughts never works. When I try to stop thinking, I think even more.
Exactly. If I say, don't think about a pink elephant, what do you think about?
A pink elephant.
That's how the mind works. So instead of fighting thoughts, we practice observing them.
That sounds simple, but also hard. What does it mean to observe your thoughts?
It means noticing them without attaching to them. For example, instead of saying, I'm terrible at English, you say, I'm having the thought that I'm terrible at English. Do you hear the difference?
Yes, the first one sounds like a fact. The second one sounds temporary.
Exactly. Thoughts feel permanent. But they are temporary mental events, like clouds passing in the sky. You don't chase clouds. You don't argue with clouds. You let them pass.
What about strong emotions, like embarrassment or anxiety?
There's something called the 90-second rule. When a strong emotion appears, if you don't feed it with extra thoughts, it usually fades within about 90 seconds. But what do? We replay it. We add commentary. We create stories. And we extend it for hours.
So we're not suffering from the moment. We're suffering from the replay.
Exactly.
Let's connect this back to English learning. How can someone speak more freely without overthinking every sentence?
3 steps. Step 1, accept imperfection. Step 2, focus on meaning, not grammar. Step 3, reflect once, then release.
Reflect once.
Yes. After a conversation, ask one simple question. What did I do well? Then ask, what is one small thing I can improve next time? One lesson, not 20. Then let it go.
What about nighttime, when thoughts become loud?
Try this tonight. When you lie down, instead of reviewing your mistakes, review 3 things that went well today, even small things. I finished my work. I practiced English. I was kind to someone. This shifts the brain from threat mode to gratitude mode, and gratitude calms the nervous system.
I think sometimes overthinking feels like if I don't replay everything, I won't improve.
Improvement doesn't require punishment. It requires awareness and repetition. Kind awareness. If you improve through self-criticism, you'll always feel tense. If you improve through curiosity, you'll feel motivated. And that brings us to the end of today's episode.
We hope this conversation helped you feel calm, supported, and more connected to English and to yourself.
In the next episode, we'll explore another important part of daily life and emotional expression in simple, natural English.
Until then, keep listening and keep growing.
Remember,
You can learn English.
one conversation at a time. See you in the next episode, and feel free to listen to our earlier episodes too.